Hello, good morning. It's a wonderful morning where I am, and it's a fantastic day for me again to be here, to be glad and to talk to you. I'm so excited. It's a new chapter of a book. Now, yesterday, I went to take a car to my daughter. Now, I'm not very comfortable when I'm driving her car, but it had to be taken because she's parking away from her university residence, and she will be moving in an apartment in the beginning of the new academic year. But there's quite a lot that she needs to bring home. So we had a convoy of two cars, one car to bring some stuff home, and then the other car she had to pack the rest of her stuff home. But why am I telling you this? It's because I'm not very comfortable at driving other people's cars. Even her car, I'm not very comfortable. So for me to drive the car on the motorway all the way into the city and where she was really not the most comfortable thing for me to do, but it was a necessity. It had to be done. Now, thankfully, my partner, who is very good at driving and direction, he's fantastic. So we said, or we discussed prior to going to this journey, that he will go ahead of me and I will follow. But I was still dreading whether I will keep the same pace with him. So I said to him, just check the car that it has everything that it needs, that the condition is okay. I will fuel it, and then I will make every effort to stay in the same pace with you. Now, for me to read maps, if I were to travel on my own, I normally put them upside down. And then when I use the sat nav, I still get confused. I get easily disoriented in any city, regardless of how many times I've been there. Something happens in the mind, and my mind, I don't know whether it turns upside down. I just get disoriented. So I easily get lost. And even when I don't get lost, if there is a diversion or some roadworks being done, that makes it even worse. Because once I lose the direction that I know, then I'm gone. It's like I'm lost. Then I waste a lot of time in trying to find my way back. I do find my way back, but after a lot of time wasting and all that. So with the leader in front of me, I was so honored and I was so privileged. Still, the panicky part of it was still there because I didn't know how I'll drive this car. I don't know whether it was going, I didn't know whether it was going to behave itself. But anyway, we did drive, and I stayed focused. I stayed looking at him as he drove in front of me, and I made sure no truck, no lorries came in between, no cars. So we kept the same pace. And as we were discussing much later, he did say he was also trying to stay on the outer lane, or do they call it the inner lane, the slow speed lane, so that we could stay at the same, not tailgating each other, but at least at a comfortable distance between each other. Guess what? I still had to look at the traffic lights. I still had to put the indicators. I still had to drive the car. I still had to be watchful, even though he did tell me that he made sure he changed lanes when there was nothing behind me. But still, I had to be observant. I was an active participant in that journey. So there was a purpose, there was an action plan, and there was the journey, and there was the whole process, and we went together. I was comfortable because I was following the leader. I didn't kind of panic a lot. In fact, I forgot about all the discomfort and that this wasn't my car, and I just stayed focused on him regardless of what was happening around me. I still did need to check around me, but then I was more comfortable, and we went on and we go to our destination. But guess what? I also still had a sat nav. But as we were approaching the city where I needed the sat-nav most, because that's where I thought I'd lose him because of the amount of traffic, the sat-nav just went dead. The cell died. The car couldn't charge it because the car's charger is faulty. And I panicked for a split second, but then I realized it's not about the sat-nav. It's about the leader in front of me. He knows the way, and my job is to follow him and to make sure that I don't lose the sight of him. So I stayed focused. And in that split second, a car came in between us. But I made sure I could still see the edges. I could still see the car corners. And as he negotiated around the city, I could still see him. And even towards the very end, somebody cut through in front in the wrong lane. Sorry, this Kikuyu accent is just too much this morning. But I still did manage to stay in place. So I didn't get lost. We did not get lost. We go to the destination. Now, why am I telling you these lessons and all that? It's because when you know the leader and you know that the leader knows the way, then you can follow the leader confidently. And in the process of following the leader, then your worries and your concerns are minimized. And guess what? Knowledge is not enough. Knowledge is not enough. Even knowing the leader and having confidence in the leader is not enough. Practical activity or active participation is the most important thing. Know the leader but follow them. Know the leader but take your own steering wheel. Know the leader and walk with the leader, or follow the leader and take part. The whole thing brings me back to the way Jesus used to teach his disciples. He was delegating duties to them. They worked. Some of them went into the city to look for food. Some of them went into the city to look for a place where they could hold their meetings. Some of them, he gave him the boat for him to use. So Jesus was discipling them. They were following him, but they were all actively taking part. So knowledge is not enough. Even knowing the leader is not enough. But doing what the leader has asked you to do, or taking part actively, is what is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. Otherwise, if you just sit back, if I had dreaded the journey so much that I didn't want to drive, alternatively, if I would have said, oh, we don't need to do this, then I would have feared and the journey wouldn't have been accomplished. The purpose wouldn't have been accomplished. So I'm encouraging you today, as Jesus gave us the Great Commission and say, go out there and make disciples of me. We should also try to help other people, support them. Like my partner was very supportive, understanding that, yes, Esther could be having these fears, Esther could be having these troubles and need to stay on the lane where she's comfortable to follow me. But Esther has to do it herself. She has to come along with me for us to be able to accomplish this duty. So the Great Commission is there. We still need to go out there and make disciples of people, teaching them and using the example of Jesus. Not doing things for me, but helping me to do things for myself so that I can be actively participating in this journey called life. Now, the book of Acts did not end in the book of Acts, because when Jesus left, he said, I'm going to send you a helper. So the manual or the map or the sat-nav is still there. That's the Bible. But then knowing the information on the map, in the Bible, in the instructions is not enough. We do need to actively participate. When the sat-nav was dead, when the book is not there, then you still need to be able to do what you need to do. Stay focused on the leader. Remember how he does the things and how he did the things and how he took part in all the actions that he did, and then emulate that leader, imitate that leader, and do the things that that leader has taught you to do. So this morning, as you go out there, remember the book of Acts is not finished. You have, or you got to write your own book of Acts. The Holy Spirit is still there to help you. The instruction manuals, the Bible is still there for you, but then you need to be actively participating so that you can write the chapters of the book of Acts. Have a fruitful day and have a fantastic day. If you want to read more details of the lessons, I have written them down here, so just have a read. The flow is much better than me talking to you, because I was thinking, yes, I want to follow all the points that I learned, the 5 points or the 6 points. But if you read the comments below, or if you read the attachment to this video, then you will have a clear understanding of what I meant. And my accent has been playing, but it won't stop me from talking. So have a brilliant day. Enjoy.